You know, sometimes there's nothing more satisfying than a really solid fragrance clone that gets close to the thing that it's attempting to clone. It also has decent quality, and to top it all off, even has great performance. It's kind of like the holy trio there, the holy grail of a clone scent is to kind of hit on those three things. And if you can find them that do, it's pretty cool. And so today what I wanted to do was I wanted to kind of give you guys some options if you're on a bit of a budget, but you want to get some of these popular fragrances for fall that a lot of people are talking about that are just a little bit of a stretch for you right now. That's where clones come into play. I obviously own all of these clones because I do videos on them, but I also wear a lot of these myself. Not just because I'm trying to save money on my other bottles, which is one reason, but also because with each of these clones, you actually do get a little bit of a variation on the DNA that they're trying to clone. And so it's a way to change it up just a little bit, but you still get the bulk smell of that scent that it is trying to get close to. So it's just kind of like a variety. So if you want to save some money, you want to get some fall hype beasts on a budget, this video is going to be for you. I will link these all down below. When it comes to buying fragrance clones, you're really not going to be heading over to Macy's or Sephora or anything like that to pick these up. They don't carry these brands. So use the links down below, discounters. Most of these are going to be $40, $50 and below. A lot of these are significantly below that price point. But when you take a look at these compared to the price of the real thing, you're going to be getting a lot of savings here. Also doing a $500 giveaway over on my community tab. Make sure you go find that post and enter. Make sure you get subscribed so you see when I post deals over there all the time, and also when I do giveaways like that. Armaf Odyssey Homme Eau de Parfum. This is the black bottle for those who are maybe listening and not watching. The reason why I point that out is because there is one of these in a white bottle, and that's completely different. That one I believe is like an Invictus Aqua type of scent. This one is Dior Homme Intense, Valentino Uomo Intense meets Tom Ford Noir Extreme, basically. So it's a really cool combination of iris and this chocolatey dessert, kind of sweet gourmand smell. Very, very nice stuff that smells fantastic, and it's cheap, $20, $25 on discounters when it's in stock, and it also has impressive performance. Now those others that I mentioned, for the most part, have pretty good performance. The Tom Ford might give some people some issues. This actually performs better on my skin than the Tom Ford, which I think is pretty cool. It's a great way to save some money and get a better performer and just have something amazing for fall. And because we do have 12 to get through here, I'm going to run through these pretty quick. I do have individual videos on most of these, and if not now, I will in the future very soon. Next up, Insurrection 2 Wild by Rayon Traditions. This smells very similar to something along the lines of Naxos or Pure Havana by Mugler. It's got the honey, tobacco, tonka bean richness in here. And I mean, for the price, again, about 20, 25, maybe pushing $30 for this one, depending on what sales are going on and that sort of thing. It's really impressive. I mean, I smell this stuff, and while it's not going to have Xerjoff quality, I don't expect it to, it definitely has mid-range designer price quality. This does not smell like a cheapie. In fact, quite the opposite. It's rich, it's high-end, it smells fantastic in the cooler weather. This one here is also very impressive for around the same price point, $20-ish, $22, Latava Assad. And this is a clone of the newest Sauvage Elixir by Dior, which is a very pricey one. Even on discounters, that stuff's going for like $140 for like a 60 or 70 ml bottle or something kind of oddball size, not even that big of a bottle. But this stuff here is significantly more affordable and very, very close, like impressively close to that DNA. And also performance is no slouch. Now Sauvage Elixir is kind of in a league of its own on performance. While this one isn't quite to that level, it does a very good job. And this will outperform a lot of mid-range designer priced fragrances, and it will definitely outperform most of the cheapies out there on the market. And for those who are on a budget and want to get something that smells like Cedra Essence by Mancera, you could go for this one. Cedra Essence by Paris Corner. Really nice, heavy bottle, frosted glass. And I mean, the quality speaks for itself here in terms of presentation, very impressive. Looks like the Boucheron bottles, if you've seen those before. I actually don't own any, but when I was looking on discounters, I was like, wait a minute, that looks familiar. And it's not a Paris Corner either. So that's kind of cool, interesting. But this smells very, very close to Cedra Essence, impressively close. And this is definitely the way to go if you don't want to spend that money. Yeah, Cedra Essence is a much more affordable niche fragrance, right? It's sometimes designer priced, $80, $85, $90, but still, that's a pretty big jump compared to what this one goes for. And really, I honestly can't see any issue why you shouldn't buy this one if you're on a budget, because it gets you so close and has amazing performance. This one is also an extrait concentration, and it is powerful stuff. Let's keep it moving with Bruges Pearlador. So this is a Parfums de Marly Carlisle clone. And why that's so significant is because in general, Parfums de Marly fragrances are going to be a little bit on the pricier side, even on discounters unless there's a big sale going on. But Carlisle in particular is usually going to be one of the most expensive ones from the brand. You know, that, and there's some of like Leighton Exclusive and Pegasus, you know, the other exclusives and stuff. But Carlisle's usually up there. This smells so incredibly close to Carlisle that it's just almost mind-boggling to me. Very, very impressive cologne. The only one I have from the brand, and I want to discover more because the quality speaks for itself, the closeness to that scent speaks for itself, and the performance is next level, just like it is with Carlisle. Next up, Latava Kamra, I believe. Kamra, something like that. I mean, you can look at this bottle and you can see what they were going for here. It's pretty obvious. In fact, you can see the outline of some of mine right over there. Right, yeah, somewhere over there. Killian Angel's Share clone, except this bottle is square and not round like Angel's Share. But this gets you really, really close. It's got vanilla, amber, dates, praline, and a little bit of a boozy accord, even though officially they don't list it here in this one. Cap was kind of stuck, but it smells delicious. Gourmand, sexy, very inviting. And I mean, when you spray this in the air and smell it, you get hit with this literal alcohol note. And no, I'm not talking perfumer's alcohol. I'm talking like dripping rum. Like just, it's like the fragrance is oozing this sexy rum accord. Very impressive stuff for a low price on discounters, usually around $30, $35. This is next level stuff right here, and fantastic in the cool weather. Now, I've been talking about this one quite a bit lately, but in terms of the savings that you get with this compared to the real deal, it's so insane that I feel like I should just talk about it whenever I get a chance, because I don't want you guys to feel like you have to spend this ungodly amount of money on the real deal. This is Amber Oud Ruby Edition by Alhara Maine, and this is a clone of Baccarat Rouge 540 Extrait. Now, the 70 ml bottles, the normal size, even on discounters, is like 380, something like that, mid 300s, mid upper 300s. The big 200 mil, 680, pushing 700 even at discounters. The stuff is just absolutely absurd. This is anywhere from, I don't know, $70, $80. Depending on the bottle size, there's multiple different bottle sizes. And really, this is the way to go right here. I have both versions of BR540 and I love it, but the savings that you get with this is unparalleled. The performance is also massive. I've done a review on this one recently, so I'll point you in that direction to hear more, but don't sleep on this one if you want a high-performing, unique-smelling fall and winter scent. And also, I forgot to point this out, but some of these could work year-round, but I think that with the cooler weather, it really does help make some of these a bit more wearable than if you were wearing them in summer or something like that. Next up, Afnan's 9 p.m., a clone of Ultramale. I love Ultramale. You can go back to the very beginning of my channel, and I'm talking about that scent to a high level, and I still do feel the same way about that one. It's got pear and vanilla, and while this one doesn't have the pear note listed, you still do get that fruitiness. It's more of an apple here in this one, but gets you very close to that sweet, fruity Ultramale opening with the cinnamon and vanilla, and it's a DNA that's very, very playful, Nothing about this is down to business and professional, okay? So make sure if that's what you're after that you don't get this one. But if you do want something just playful and easygoing and fun to wear to social events and stuff, casual, to the bars, to holiday parties and stuff like that, this is a really nice one. It's very cozy, and I think it's gonna draw a lot of people in for you. Just recently did a video on this one as well. Latava Woody Oud. Smells very close to Tom Ford Oud Wood, and even a little bit of Oud Wood Intense, which I think is pretty cool. And if you couldn't tell, that's pretty straightforward presentation right here. Great performance, great quality, impressive stuff at an impressive price, mid-$20 range. Afnan Supremacy Not Only Intense. Hassavat meets Creed Aventus. Okay, so what makes them different? Well, Hassavat, the pineapple accord in there, mixing with the oak moss, makes it much more sweet and heavy to the point where it's not really a summer fragrance. I've had to scrub Hassavat off in the summertime before. Creed Aventus, because it's lighter and fresher and just easier going, to me, it's a summer fragrance. I wear it heavily, and I wear it the most in the summertime. This one combines the best of both worlds, which I think is really cool, because while it is still an Aventus clone, it's combining some other things to at least make it a little bit different, which is not really a bad thing considering there's about 1 million Aventus clones out there. But this one does have impressive performance. Second to last, we have Latava Kamra Eau de Parfum. So YSLY EDP clone. And while you may think of that as a summer fragrance like me, you know, I think of EDP as a summer scent. I'll also get a lot of people saying that it is way too sweet for summertime. And depending on your taste and where you live, that very well could be true. For me, I mean, even here, you know, we get cold winters and we get hot, humid summers. I still have no issue wearing EDP. It just doesn't bother me. But one thing that I can say is that when you get some cold weather on that DNA, it really tames it down. And if you had a foul experience wearing that one in the heat because it was just too strong, give it a try here in the fall temperatures, the 50s, 60s, with some breeze outside. It really works well. EDP is $100, Kamra about 20. And last up, we have Latava Sucret. I'm probably saying that wrong. In fact, I would bet money that I am, but you know, that's about as close as I'm going to get. It's an eau de parfum, and it is very similar to Acqua di Gio Profumo, which is, you know, depending on bottle size, 95, 100, 120 on discounters. Same deal with this, about 20, 25. A lot of these are going to be in that range from these brands, and I have no complaints. It even gets the opening similar, where it has that kind of grassy green opening like Profumo, which I'm not a fan of really, but the dry down with the incense and patchouli smokiness and the mysterious edge of this one, this DNA is what makes this scent worth it. And if you're on a budget, you can't go wrong with this one. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for me. 12 high-powered fragrance clones that work great in the season of fall. I will provide links to these down below. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.